The Gina and Matty podcast.
Yeah, this is what we like to just bring you up to speed. What's been going on in the last 24 hours? Not much, hey?
No.
No, anyone got anything that's happened in the last 24 hours? Oh, gosh.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right. Nathan McSweeney's been selected to open the batting for Australia A in the second game against India A. Huge news. Is that...
We were hoping you'd talk cricket.
That's the biggest thing that's going on? Because potentially he's now going to be the opening batsman for Australia in the... No. Okay, we'll move on. Last night, of course, Donald Trump became the first twice impeached, insurrection inciting, 34-time convicted felon and the oldest person ever to be elected president of the United States. Now, in simple terms, to become the president, someone just needed to hit 270 electoral votes, and he, at the moment, has 291 to Kamala's 223. He smashed her. Absolutely smashed her. Last night he jumped up on stage with a cast of thousands at his HQ in Florida. It was about 2 o'clock in the morning their time, and he just loved being on stage. Like I reckon Trump just starts talking and doesn't even know where he's going with it, when he's going to finish.
I agree.
Just started calling up randoms to the microphones. Hey, do you want to say something? Yeah, and they're like, no, I don't. This is about you.
Yeah.
Anyway, so here's a little bit of that speech when he was on stage in Florida.
Frankly, this was, I believe, the greatest political movement of all time. There's never been anything like this in this country and maybe beyond. And now it's going to reach a new level of importance because we're going to help our country heal. We're going to help our country heal. We have a country that needs help. And it needs help very badly. We're going to fix our borders. We're going to fix everything about our country. And we made history for a reason tonight, and the reason is going to be just that. We overcame obstacles that nobody thought possible, and it is now clear that we've achieved the most incredible political thing. Look what happened. Is this crazy? But it's a political victory that our country has never seen before, nothing like this. I want to thank the American people for the extraordinary honor of being elected your 47th president and your 45th president.
Listen to them.
And every citizen, I will fight for you, for your family, and your future. Every single day I will be fighting for you, and with every breath in my body, I will not rest until we have delivered the strong, safe, and prosperous America that our children deserve and that you deserve. This will truly be the golden age of America. That's what we have to have.
There it is.
God.
That is just a small part of, I think, the almost hour he was on stage before then got up and danced around to everyone's favourite gay anthem. There's so much that I can't explain about that. But anyway.
What I did notice, that it's not political at all, was his son, Barron, his 18-year-old son.
How big
apparently,
he is? How tall
apparently
he is?
Trump is 6'2", Melania is 6'6" or something, and his kid is 6'8", or like really, really tall.
Yeah.
Towered over his very tall parents.
Do you reckon it was Melania? There's a lot of stories in the last week that there's been a Melania body double rolling around because she hasn't been interested in doing the campaigning. Anyway, Vice President Kamala Harris will deliver a concession speech sometime this morning while we're on air from Washington. She's going to speak at Howard University and pretty much just go, yep, it's all over. So a little later on in the show, we are going to cross to the States and chat to Tim Lester from Channel 7, find out what this means, I guess, for Australia's controversial AUKUS deal. Will Elon Musk and RFK Jr. get jobs in the White House? What happens? Joe Biden essentially will stay president until, I think, January when the inauguration is. But then there is a whole lot of stuff that it still needs to happen in the States. Did you watch any of the broadcasting yesterday in the afternoon or anything?
Yeah, I saw some of it.
Carl Stefanovic. Carl cops a lot of grief, but geez, he's good.
Yes.
I was flicking between Carl and the Channel 7, the back and forth between 9 and 7, and he's just... he manages to flip between being that serious journo who knows exactly what he's doing to manage to make a little bit of light of it and then he can talk to the punter in the street, but then also talk to a former US, general attorney.
Yeah.
Like, it's phenomenal.
Was it?
stuff.
I caught a little bit, and was it? I only realised it was the vice president. I think the soon-to-be vice president who he was talking to, who kind of snapped back at him. Did you
JD
see that
Vance?
moment?
Oh,
Yeah.
no, I missed that.
He
No.
said, "I'm not aggressive," but he kind of yelled it
really-
back. And
well,
you
no.
can see Stefanovic's face go. You're being aggressive right now.
As soon as he started talking to Scott Morrison, that's when I flicked the channel. I was like, this is a grim afternoon enough. I don't need to see Scott Morrison on my TV. I thought we'd got through that.
Gina and Matty.
This morning, we are thrilled to be joined by one of the most beloved voices in children's literature, Mem Fox. With books like Possum Magic, Where's the Green Sheep, and 10 Little Fingers, 10 Little Toes, Mem has not only captured the imagination of countless young readers, but also inspired parents, teachers, and storytellers around the world. Her latest book, Meerkat Mayhem, is available now. And please welcome to the show, Mem Fox. Good morning, Mem.
Hello, Matty. Look, I was in hysterics when you said the beloved voice. I mean, I'm really sorry, but it's quite early in Adelaide, and I am ancient, and this is not a beloved voice.
Oh, I've seen plenty of you reading on YouTube your books, Mem. It is very much a beloved voice. Just quickly, our producer CJ said you're just finishing off your Adelaide coffee. How does Mem Fox have her coffee at 8 o'clock, I guess, in Adelaide?
Yeah, well, it's just a normal. I make a French press coffee every morning, okay, and it's white. It's a white French press coffee. That's the only coffee I make at home. The other two coffees I have in the day, if I have two, are always out.
Yes.
They're out, yes.
Okay,
And
Mem.
they're flat whites, and they're boring old flat whites.
Oh, I can't believe I feel like we're talking with royalty, Matty. We're
Yeah,
actually
absolutely.
speaking with the Mem Fox. We're so happy to have you.
It's a little bittersweet,
you.
a little bittersweet because it is an honour to be speaking to you, Mem. But gosh, the amount of times I've been made to read "Where Is the Green Sheep."
For you.
I've got a little bit of a question from one of my kids about Where Is the Green Sheep. We'll get to that in just a sec. But Meerkat Mayhem, Mem, another book that's going to be in kids' bedrooms and nurseries around Australia. Tell us a little bit about your new book.
Well, the new book is it's based on an old folk tale. It's a total rip-off, Matty, Gina. It's a total rip-off of an old folk tale called The Great Big Enormous Turnip. And, something gets stuck in the ground. One person can't pick it, can't get it out by themselves. So another person holds on to that person, and that person can't do it. So another person holds on to that, and that person, and that person can't do it. So another person holds, et cetera, et cetera. But in this, the meerkat gets stuck.
Yeah.
The elephant tries to get him out. He can't. She can't. The giraffe then holds onto the elephant, holds onto the meerkat. They can't. Then the zebra holds onto the giraffe, holds onto the elephant, and so it goes on.
Oh yeah, don't
right?
spoil it. Don't spoil the ending, Mem.
No, I'm not telling you the ending. I'm not. But the best line, I reckon. Well, there are two best lines. Right? The best line for little kids is, could they pull meerkat out of that burrow? No. They could not. No, they could not. It reappears and reappears and reappears. But for the grown-up, instead of saying rude swear words in front of children, okay, there is now a new saying for all the grown-ups in Australia, which is, mother of all meerkats.
I love it. Last night, reading is a big part of our nightly routine in our house, Mem. I've got a 9-year-old, a 7-year-old, and a 5-year-old. And
my age group, thank you.
yes, yeah. We're
Perfect demo.
helping you out in Adelaide on the in your properties there, Mem. We're looking after you, but. I did. The eldest read Meerkat Mayhem to the younger two last night, and I thought I'd like to play a little bit of that to you right now.
Happily, Elephant was passing by. "This I can fix," she said. "Bless you," said Meerkat. So Elephant held on to Meerkat, and she pulled, and she pulled, and she pulled. But could she pull Meerkat out of that burrow? No, she could not.
And then as soon as we finished, Mem, the youngest was like, and again, and again. I'm like, oh my God, it's another green sheep. It's another green sheep.
It's a hit.
I have said in Hints for Writers, on my website, that the thing you're aiming for as a writer for little kids, for very little kids, is for them to say at the end of the book, read it again. So thanks to the, very great approval from your family, I have clearly written a hit because the child said, read it again.
Well done.
The importance of books in development, Mem, are you worried about the potential of, reading slipping and maybe even AI coming into the world of literature where it's not going to be the same as it once was?
Look, I don't think that AI can do all sorts of things, right? It's going to be brilliant. It's going to be terrifying. But what AI can't do yet, although I wouldn't put it past them, put it past it eventually. But what they can't do yet is emotion.
Yeah.
They can do language, but even then it's hysterical. I mean, I've with my computer guy, we played with writing kids' books and we just rock with laughter. We're just in hysterics. It's so bad. So I'm not particularly worried about that. I'm not particularly worried about screens taking over completely for kids because, as you know, the bonding process that goes on when you're sharing a book with a little child is totally different from the child being on its own on the screen. You've got a loving person there. You've got somebody to love. Somebody else loves that person. It's just, the trio, the thing between the child, the book, and the adult is just bliss. It's bliss.
Oh, it's my favourite part of the day. Mem.
It's lovely.
my
Hey,
favourite part of the
Mem,
day.
I wanted to ask you, so for me, I have a 21-year-old son and somebody gave him possum magic when he was born as a present, as a gift for a newborn baby, which was,
Lord.
isn't that lovely? It was treasured. And I wanted to ask you, how do you choose your animators? Because possum magic is stunning. Time for Bed is probably, for me, one of the prettiest books. How do you decide who gets this wonderful gig?
Who gets the gig? The publisher chooses the artist.
Oh, really?
Yeah. To a certain extent. There's a historical thing with Possum Magic where I did have a contact with Julie Vivath, and that's how that came up. But usually it is the publisher. Now with Judy Horacek, with this new book, because we're the Green Sheep team.
Yeah.
I have seen other work of Judy's where I knew she would be the only illustrator that would be able to do the hysterical thing of, an elephant holding onto a meerkat and a giraffe, holding onto an elephant. I mean, the pictures are hysterical. So I did beg for Judy to do this book. I did. Yeah.
Mem, we do have to let you go, but before we do, I recommend everyone go out and get the new one, Meerkat Mayhem, which is in stores now. I want to go back to the green sheep just quickly, if I can, because I have been traumatised.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so this is a question, story time is usually at bedtime. It's usually when most of the questions come out from throughout the day and very inquisitive minds. And we've read the book a lot and it's like, here's the thin sheep, here's the wide sheep, the swing sheep, the slide sheep, there's the up sheep, the down sheep, the band the clown sheep, you've got the sun sheep, the ram sheep, the car sheep, the train sheep. Yeah, no, it's there, it's locked in. But a question we always got at the end is, the book is called Where is the Green Sheep? And I've got my 7-year-old here to ask you a question, Mem. If you don't quite hear it down the phone line, I'll repeat it for you. But this is my 7-year-old Ziggy.
Hi, Mem. My name's Ziggy. In the story, Green Sheep, where is the green sheep? I know the green sheep's asleep, but where is the green sheep?
That is a question that I have been asked for about 9 years throughout consecutive children reading. They know that the green sheep is asleep and it's behind a bush, but where is the green sheep? And I was like, I don't know. And I have the opportunity today to ask Mem Fox, where is the green sheep?
Ziggy, I think the only person who knows where the green sheep is the person, Judy Horacek, who did the pictures, because I don't know where the green sheep is. And I've got a grandson, and he's a teenager, and he knows the green sheep very well. And when people say to him, where's the green sheep? And the Green Sheep book is now 20 years old. And when people say to him, where is the green sheep? He says, well, after 20 years, it's moved on.
Oh, Mem Fox, what an absolute treat it has been to speak to you this morning. I recommend it. It's another book to add to the collection of Mem Fox books in your kids' bookshelf. It's called Meerkat Mayhem. Go get it now. Mem, thank you very much for your time today.
Thank you two, both. Thank you.
Thanks, man.
Gina and Matty.
Dear Dolly. Actually, Dear Gina.
Yeah, this is where you, people of the coast, submit your, questions and struggles that you might be having in life to the one and only Gina Jeffries through our Instagram at Gina and Matty, or you can go through our Facebook as well. G, you are qualified?
Completely unqualified
Okay, just
and
checking.
inexperienced. But look, I like to give some good life advice. And if you've got anything, there's nothing off limits. You can write in and you can do it anonymously. You don't have to say your name or anything. And I will give you advice to the best of my ability.
Okay, I've got a submission here from Karen in Baddo Bay. Dear Gina, I think I've gone too far with my love for houseplants. My collection has grown so large that I can't remember their names anymore, and I'm getting tired of talking to them like I used to. Oof, lucky that she's asking you for advice here, because I know what I'd say. I love my plants so much, but can you give me advice on how to cut back? I feel like I'd be lost without them, but it's getting too much. Thanks so much, Kaz.
Oh, Kaz. Look, I do love how houseplants have become really cool again because not only a few years ago you had fake ones that you didn't have to talk to, but houseplants are live things. You do need to talk to them. I think that they do respond if you're speaking to them. Now, it's going to be hard if she's pretty close to cut back on them because she probably potentially thinks they have feelings as well. I think what you could do, Kaz, is spread your love of houseplants because they're very, very good for the air inside your house and they look beautiful. You could give them as gifts. I mean, you can do two things at once. Christmas gifts, done for all the friends and family. Maybe they envy how good you are with your plants. You can give them some advice, how to take care of them, and don't feel embarrassed. What a good thing. It's a good thing to be obsessive over. So, yeah, gift them.
If you've got a question for Gina, slide into our DMs at Gina and Matty on Instagram. Another submission here from Emily in Gosford. Dear Gina, so I've recently adopted a cat. I called her Maggie, and I swear she's trying to be my personal assistant. Every time I sit down to work, she hops on my desk, knocks over my coffee, and refuses to leave. She's now supervising all my Zoom calls. I love her, but I need help getting her to respect my workspace. How do I regain control of my office? Should I put up a no pets allowed sign or should I just let her take over the world?
Oh my God, cat people. I'm not a cat person, so I don't have a lot of legitimate advice I can give to you. I think you could just shut the door and lock the cat out. That's the obvious part that says I think we should say. And I don't think a cat's not going to listen if you're trying to set some ground rules with a cat. We did a story last week that they've played owners' voices and strangers' voices to cats, and the cats do recognise your voice, but they choose not to listen. So I think no matter what you do, that cat is going to take no notice of you at all. Maybe get a dog and let the dog sort it out.
Let us know how that goes, Emily in Gosford, if you do get a dog and it helps. If I could add a little here.
Please do.
My mum and dad had a cat growing up, and whenever the cat was getting up onto the bench where it shouldn't, they had a spray bottle of water and would just and spray her.
Brilliant.
And then the cat would hop down.
Was that for free, or do we need to pay for that last piece of brilliant advice?
I'll be invoicing your clinic, the Gina Jeffries clinic.
Love it.
If you've got anything you want to ask Gina, slide into the DMs at Gina and Matty.
The Gina and Matty Podcast.
For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcast.com.au.